So let's talk about teacher appreciation gifts. Now let me share with you some of the things that I found when I was out shopping at Dollar General and Dollar Tree, and a couple of things I got off of Amazon. Okay, now we're not going to make everything, but I just wanted to give you some ideas of some options for you. Well, we are going to make a wine glass, so this is just a wine glass from the Dollar Tree. I got this cute little vase from there too. And so you can actually take one of the sayings and put it on here. And you can make a little terrarium. I mean, put your little stones on the bottom. You can make a little house in here, little gnomes, things like that. So you could actually make a little terrarium. You know, you could actually put little succulents and everything in here. So, you know, that's something that I think would be really, really cute and a great idea. Coffee mugs. Teachers love mugs. There's all kinds of different styles and shapes of different mugs at the Dollar Tree and at Dollar General, so take a look. Again, we're not going to decorate everything, but just some ideas that you can actually use. Okay, so some other things that I found at the Dollar Tree. Little zip pouches. Okay, so you can actually take one of the items, you can put an offset on it, layer it on top of there. So they have all kinds of cute little styles and everything like that. So cute little zipper purse, especially if they're going out and about, they can throw some money and everything in there, and they'll have little wristlets. So perfect little idea for them. Great idea for mom too. So think about it that way. Again, $1. Look at how cute this is. And who doesn't love glitter? Come on, who doesn't love glitter? And it's a picture frame. So you can take this, take off the back side, put a saying on it, and then it could be on their desk. How cute is that? And then they can just flip it over, get the glitter to move. Kids would probably love it too and play around with it. So you can actually just put the image on there. I would actually probably just put the image actually right on here and then insert it. Yeah, there is the little pull out there, but I would still use it. I wouldn't let that stop me and just put it on there. So what if you see it? Okay, so again, at the Dollar Tree. This was in the graduation section. You could totally sand off the top of it, paint it. Same for mom. You could you could actually do both sides. So you could put something on one side and put another. Cute little picture holder on the top. So walk around, you guys. There's so many different ideas out there. I struggle myself sometimes, and then I just start walking around. Next up that I got there as well are these little chalkboard signs. Now this one actually has a little stand on it. So you can put a saying on here and it can stand up. This one actually has a base on it so you can stand up. Little chalkboard. Again, you can put your saying on here and give it to them and go from there. You could even put a little clip on the top of it and make it a picture hanger. But I think the saying would be cute because you can use your vinyl and give it. Again, $1. Okay. Now, Dollar General. These couple of items right here, these are all little chalkboard signs that I found there. How cute are these? Dollar General, cute little chalkboard signs. So you can put a saying on there, hang it up, and away you go and stuff like that. It'd be cute item for them as well. So there's some cute blinks. Look at how cute this is, you guys. Cute little picture frame. Again, Dollar General, it was $1. Little picture. Put your saying on there. There's so many cute sayings. Put that on there. Teachers love journals. I believe this was $2.50. So it was $2.50, something like that. So very inexpensive. They had some really cute options. Now, one of the things I'll tell you is that the pattern is kind of busy. So you have a couple of options. There, you could actually just put the saying right here on the flip up. So you can put it there so it actually will stick out in a really, really pretty coordinating color of vinyl. Or you could do some type of offset and put it here. But I'm thinking it'd be cuter right here because it's plain already and then it won't take away from the pattern that you have here. Dollar General, $2.50. Cool idea. Okay. Now, let's talk about a couple of things I got off of Amazon. This might not have been Amazon, It could have been, but they have something similar. I think you could probably even find something similar at Walmart too. An acrylic tumbler. And you can just put some type of saying on here. You could actually do their names or whatever, but there's some cute sayings in the bundle that I'm going to be releasing out. There's like 3 or 4 different designs you could choose. You could put the saying on one side and their name on the other. So something really cute and simple. But yeah, you could do a little tumbler for them as well. Okay. They do at Walmart have the 99-cent water bottles. I'm just not a real fan of those because of PVA and everything else like that. But that's a total, everybody has their own decisions and choices and everything. So nothing here. All right, you guys, this is one of the projects we are going to do today. For sure, we're gonna do a wine glass. We're probably gonna do this one as well. And probably this, okay? Or it's gonna be the wine glass and this, and maybe we'll save this for Mom. Okay, maybe we'll do something for Mother's Day for that one. So maybe we'll just hold on to that one. Okay, remember the terrarium idea. Okay, now let's get back to one of the projects we're going to make today. Okay, you guys, how stinking cute are these? Look at these. We are going to make floating galaxy pencils. Okay, cute little glitter on the inside of them. So you can see, the glitters moving around in here. Tassels, the keychains. I'm actually going to use E6000 to make sure the top and the eraser don't come off so they're stable. And I'm going to show you how I attach the eye screw on here so that it's not going to come off. And we're actually just going to put a couple of teacher sayings on here. You could personalize it by putting their name on it. But we're just going to do a couple of teacher sayings and things like that, just so you get an idea. Because I couldn't have kids, so I don't have any teachers or friends. So I'm just going to actually put teacher sayings on here so you can see how easy it is. These, will have a link for these, but they're lip gloss cases. And so basically, we're just going to cut off the stem. There's little caps in here, and we'll fill them up, and we'll put the glitter on it. All right, how fun is that? So here's a bunch of different ideas for you for teacher appreciation. They're all fairly inexpensive. These I did have to buy 25. When you, if you have a bunch to do, they come out fairly inexpensive to do and things like that. But I just thought how fun. And we'll probably maybe have a drawing and give a few of these away. I'll probably have you take a teacher so that, we can get some fun teacher stuff. But then again, I thought they're super cute and I even want one and I'm not a teacher. Well, then again, I am. I'm doing tutorials and things like that here. But I just thought these were super, super adorable. And so we're gonna be working on those. All right, so let's go get our stuff. So let's pull our vinyl out. We're gonna actually do 3 projects. We're gonna do a wine glass. We're going to do the pencil keychains, and then we're also going to do the notepad. And so I have fairly close colors, but they're just slight differences to each one of them, but I coordinated them to the projects that we were going to do. So the vinyl is pulled. I pulled the file into my cutting software and go ahead and cut out the desired file portions that you want for the project that you're going to do. For the journal portion of it, I'm actually going to be doing difference maker, and today I'm just using my portrait and I'm cutting that out. Make sure you check your vinyl before you pull it out of your cutting machine to make sure that everything cut properly, because if it didn't, you can send it back through without a problem before you eject it out. Okay, now that the vinyl is cut for the journal, I'm actually going to go ahead and weed those pieces out, and while I'm weeding that and doing the journal, I actually sent the vinyl for the pencil keychains to the cutter so that can be cutting while we're working on this. So I'm just going to go ahead, weed out my vinyl, and we're going to use the transfer tape and apply it. I did use the metallic glitter vinyl again, and it's a little tougher to cut. So I just had to be a little bit more careful with it and take care of it there. So we're just gonna go ahead, weed it, and apply it to the journal. So taking the transfer tape, I put difference on first. I actually took the piece of parchment paper, because I do love the parchment paper technique, and attached it to the parchment. Was able to line it up on the journal exactly where I wanted it to. Laid my vinyl down, took my squeegee and applied it, and then did the same thing with Maker, and then add my little flourishes as well. Quick, easy, simple project to make for your favorite teacher, or actually yourself even. It's really that cute. So the next project we're going to work on is the pencil keychains. And for this, you're going to need the lip gloss tubes, pencil tubes from Amazon that I'll have the link to. You'll need baby oil, E6000, key rings, tassels, and the little apple charms, some alcohol, some cotton pads, your vinyl that you use for cutting, and transfer tape. Okay, so the first things first, I actually took my needle nose pliers and I cut off the wands inside the lip balm tubes. So I did that first, and then once I was done with that, the top of the erasers actually come off the tubes, and I took the E6000, put some on, and I applied the erasers back to the top. And the reason I did this is because they're going to be keychains, and I want to make sure that who's ever holding it or using it, there's good adhesion and stuff like that, and they don't come apart. So I used the E6000, held it pretty good, and there was a few spots where it came out, just used alcohol and cleaned it up. We're going to be putting the eye screws into the tops as well, but I wanted to get the E6000 on there so it started drying. Once that's done, then we're going to move on to filling the lip balm tubes. And I use baby oil for this, and I use chunky glitter. The thinner glitter doesn't float as much as the chunky, so make sure you're using chunky versus thin. And a couple of things on this is I put baby oil in first, then I took my chunky glitter and I put it inside of there. And I tried to scoop it in. If I had a little funnel, it would have helped too, because I could have just used the funnel and poured it in. And there is such a thing, believe it or not, as too much glitter. So you want to make sure that you're not overfilling it, because you want to be able to hold your pencils and move them and see the glitter inside floating, because they're more the galaxy floating and stuff like that. So there is, yes, it is true, there is such a thing as too much glitter. So you put that in, and you don't want to fill your baby oil all the way up to the top either. You want to make sure there's just a little bit of room, because you need an air bubble in there for that glitter to float and move. And so you're better off to go too light. So put your baby oil in, glitter. If you need to add a little bit more baby oil, you can go back in and add the baby oil on top of it. Then there's little plugs that came with it, so I just put the plugs inside the glitter or inside of the tubes. And then I took E6000 glue. I took the top turners or the eraser heads and put it on there, and so it's all glued shut, because you don't want to have somebody holding it and all of a sudden the top comes apart and the poor person has a glitter mess all over themselves. So make sure you glue those shut, and things will be a lot easier and things like that. A couple of other things on the glitter, make sure you kind of have it open and ready to go, because the first one I like, oh shoot, forgot. And also I had a piece of paper underneath you really helps, because it helps with cleanup, because we all know that glitter goes everywhere. So it makes it a lot easier for cleanup if you have a piece of paper underneath you, because you can just throw it away when you're done. Once you have the pencils filled, then take your alcohol in your cotton pad and wipe them all down, because we want to make sure they're nice and clean for when we put the vinyl on it. So wipe them clean with the alcohol, and then set everything aside and let them dry cleanly and not touch them and things like that. So we want to make sure that we have a good area for our vinyl to stick. Okay, Now we need to weed the vinyl for the pencils. This is very tiny, so I'll give you that heads up. There's a couple of things I learned when doing this project today. One, reverse weeding is your friend. So don't be afraid to put your transfer tape on top of your vinyl and reverse weed it because they are small letters. The other thing that I found when working on this project, and it was something that I've learned in my tumbler world when making my tumblers, is weeding on the pencils. Okay, so I was able to weed the larger fonts a little easier and stuff like that, but they were still, even with my machine cut beautifully and everything else like that, it's just very small letters cut out of vinyl, and they will move and shift on you. Okay, so it was much easier to take my transfer tape, put the words on the tape, and then put it on the pencil. Now when you're doing that, you still want to be careful because you don't want to scratch the pencil up a whole lot. So you want to make sure that you have good tweezers. I used a pin pen to help get those really tiny centers out of those letters. Because you can see here, I tried the reverse weeding and it worked on some, but it was still just that small. So go ahead, put them on the pencils, reverse weed it out. It will make your life a whole lot easier and it'll go a lot faster. Okay, so let's finish putting the vinyl on and we will go ahead and then finish up the final steps. Now that we have our vinyl put on the pencils, we are going to go through and finish them up. So I took an eye screw and I took my needle nose pliers and I put the eye screw in the needle nose and I twisted them through the eraser into the metal that's on the very top of it. And you can actually feel as you get into the metal, it's harder to twist, and you can feel when it gets snug in there. So between the glue and the eye screw, it has a really good tight fit so that we know that it's not going to go someplace. So I'm going to go through and all the pencils, put the eye screws in. Then once I had the eye screws in, I opened up that eye screw so that I could actually get the chain of the keychain in. So I just opened it up a little bit, put the chain of the key or of the key ring in, and then I just bent the eye screw closed again. So it was really simple to do, and I found it was actually easier to open up that eye screw when it was on the top of the pencil eraser than it was trying to do it when it was small and things like that, because then I was trying to use the double tweezers, things like that. It was harder. So it was much easier to do it once it was on the eraser. So go ahead and put those chains and the rings on, and then you're good from there. I then took a jump ring, a tassel, and a little apple charm, and I attached them to the key ring itself. There's a little jump ring that goes onto the ring portion of it, and I actually, the jump rings were nice because they came open. So I put them on the other jump ring, put the tassel on, put the apple charm on, and then bent it back shut again. And I did that on all 6 pencils, different tassels, everyone got an apple charm. So just something different. So different words, things like that. I did try and coordinate a little bit of the tassels with it, but I just thought they were fun when the tassels were mixed with different pencils. So once you have that done, we have some really cute pencils and they will be loved. And again, you could actually put the teacher's name on it. I just used some sayings to put on these so that this gift could be for any type of teacher. So while the vinyl was actually cutting, I pulled everything into the cutting machine and sent it. I'm actually taking my wine glass and my alcohol and my pad, and I'm going to wipe the glass down really well. I want to make sure any oils, debris, things like that are off the glass, just like we did with the pencils. Once that's done, I'm just going ahead and weeding my vinyl out. And once I have my vinyl weeded, I could do a couple of things. I could layer each one on the glass and do the 3 different ones. I actually decided to take the parchment paper that I had again and kind of do a little bit of layering before I actually went on the cup with it, because then it was just laying it down one time, and then I could go in with my little fleurs and my dots and add those on at the end. Again, Lori just loves this metallic glitter vinyl, and even though it cut well, it just doesn't like to weed well. I will keep using it because it's very pretty, but it just doesn't weed the best. So once that's done, then I'll take my parchment paper. So I cut my transfer tape the size of the words that are going to be at the end, and I started at the top down, or started at the top, and I'm going to work my way down. So I started with teach, pulled that up, and then I lined up the love underneath it, made sure I had it the way I wanted it, and laid it down. And then I did the same thing again before inspire, positioned it the where I wanted it to, and then let it go. It was kind of nice because I had cut everything really close. I didn't have to pull off the backing and could leave them there. So now I'm taking my parchment paper and attaching my saying to the parchment paper, lining it up on the glass where I want it to go, and then I'm just going to use my squeegee in my hand and rub it down really well and make sure everything is where I want it to be. I'm then going to take my fleurs and my dots, and I'm going to attach those onto the glass where I want them to be as well. So fun, easy, simple project, and it's very pretty. I hope you enjoyed the projects that we're doing for Teacher Appreciation and the other ideas I gave at the beginning. I can't wait to see what you guys have made. Thanks for stopping, and I hope you enjoyed everything. Bye!